Hello children, I hope you are all happy and safe. Welcome to this special English hour. Here, every day, we will learn something new in a fun and interesting way. Are you ready to have fun? Then come, let's begin our day with a dance. Please stand up and join me in a dance.
All these animals in the zoo, all day long, what do? Walk, talk, study, no, they dance. All these animals in the zoo, how do you think do the snakes dance? They wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle and wiggle. All these animals in the zoo, how do you think do the penguins dance? They waddle. Waddle, waddle, waddle and waddle. All these animals in the zoo, how do you think do the elephants dance? They sway. Sway, sway, sway and sway.
Children, now I would like to ask you a few questions. Let us share our thoughts and ideas. Children, do you like listening to stories? I am sure you like listening to and reading stories. Children, what kinds of stories do you like? I like fictional stories. Fiction means imaginary stories. They may or may not be related to the real world. Children, do you think fictional stories are important? I think fictional stories are very important because they help us imagine altogether a different world, different people, different situations, some of the most unimaginable situations. I think it helps us to be creative. Children, what else do you like about fictional stories? I like fictional stories because they help build our imagination and make us creative. I like fictional stories all the more because they also have fictional characters. Elves, fairies, wizards and witches are all there in fictional stories. Children, would you like to know more about these characters? Then come, let's read a poem about elves and wizards today. Children, while learning a language, it is very important to keep learning new words. Now, I would like to share with you a few new words. We will come across them in the poem that we'll be reading today. Please listen to me carefully and note them down in your notebook. The first word is elf. 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 The second word is sees. 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 The third word is stifle. 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 The fourth word is gizzard. 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 The fifth word is mole. 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 So children, let me repeat the words once again for you. Elf, sees, stifle, gizzard and mole. Please look out for these words in the poem and try to guess their meaning. Children, we will be reading a very interesting poem today. The title of the poem is The Elf Singing. If you have a textbook, please open to page number 66 and point to the words as I read. We will also come across the new words we just noted. Please look out for them and try to guess their meaning. If you don't have a textbook, please see your TV screens and listen to me carefully. Children, let's read this lovely poem. The Elf Singing. An elf sat on a twig. He was not very big. He sang a little song. He did not think it wrong. But he was on a wizard's ground who hated all sweet sound. So children, what is this poem about? This poem, The Elf Singing, is about a little elf. The elf is singing while sitting on a twig. He is very happy and does not find anything wrong in his singing. But he is on a wizard's ground. The wizard does not like any sweet sound. Elf, elf, take care of yourself. He is coming behind you to seize you and bind you and stifle your song. The wizard, he changes his shape in crawling along an ugly old ape, a poisonous lizard. The elf is an imaginary creature and the wizard is also an imaginary creature that is said to have magical powers. A spotted spider, a wormy glider. The wizard, he's up on the bog. He'll bite through your gizzard. He's close to you now. The poet tells the elf that the wizard on whose ground you are singing does not like any sweet sound. He will come behind you to seize you, to bind you. To seize means to catch. To bind means to tie with a rope. And to stifle your song means to stop all your singing. The poet says the wizard can take the shape of an ape. It can also take the shape of a lizard and crawl behind the elf. The elf went on with his song. It grew more clear and strong. It lifted him into air. He floated singing away with rainbows in his hair. While the wizard worm from his creep made a sudden leap, fell down into a hole, and ere his magic word he could say was eaten up by a mole. The poet's name is William Allingham. So children, even though the poet kept telling the elf not to sing, the elf kept singing happily. And slowly the elf's song that was so sweet lifted him up in the air and he floated away. There was a beautiful rainbow coming out from the elf's hair. And what happened to the wizard? The wizard was in the shape of a worm, and it leaped out from the place where it was hiding. And then it fell into a hole. Before the wizard worm could say its magical words, a mole, that is a furry animal, came and ate the wizard worm. Children, we came across lots of new words today. Let's try to understand their meaning. The first word was elf. 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 An elf is an imaginary character. I like stories on elves. Next word, seize. 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 To seize means to catch. The police seized the robbers. Next word, stifle. 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 To stifle means to stop something from happening. Angry grandpa stifled the party. Next word, gizzard. 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 It's a part of a bird's stomach. We have a gizzard in our science lab. Next word, mole. 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 A small, dark, furry animal. There was a mole hiding in the bushes. Children, I hope you liked this exercise of learning new words. Children, let's do an activity now. In this activity, we will find rhyming words from the poem. Children, I request you all to please have a look at the poem given in the textbook and underline the pairs of rhyming words that you find. Children, I hope you were able to find the rhyming words. Come, let me show you the ones I have found. Twig, big. Song, wrong. Ground, sound. Elf, yourself. Wizard, lizard. Shape, ape. Spider, glider. Wizard, gizzard. Air, hair. Creep, leap. Hole, mole. Children, I hope you like this activity. Children, I hope you all enjoyed today's session. It's now time to sit back and relax while I tell you a wonderful story. Children, we heard a lot about wizards and magic. Do you like listening to stories about magic? Then children, today I would like to tell you the story The Magic Mirror by Nin Montha Koda Klin. Once upon a time, there was a group of girls and boys. They were playing in their village when suddenly a strong wind blew and swept them by. They reached a new place. The children looked around and were wondering where they had reached. It was very quiet and scary. Then they saw a little cottage. They thought, let's go there. Maybe someone can help us. They peeped inside the house through the window and they saw a table full of delicious food items. Suddenly, the door opened on its own, as if by magic, and a voice told them, "Come on inside, you look hungry. Come in and eat." Sam was a little boy. He was suspicious. He was wondering who would lay the food down like this and just call us in. He told all his friends we should not go inside the house. But his friends said, "Oh, the food looks so good and we are all so hungry. If you don't want to come, don't come. But don't stop us from eating." Suddenly, Sam saw that all of his friends had turned into monsters. He caught hold of Soy's hand and ran out of the house into the forest. Then a witch appeared. She counted all the children and her face went red with anger. She said, "Where are the other two children?" And she went behind in search of them. Sam and Soy ran into the forest and were looking for a place to hide. There they met with a white rat. The white rat told both the children to come and hide in his den. So they asked the white rat, why was the witch turning their friends into monsters? The white rat replied that the witch's master had ordered her to turn 100 children into monsters. Sam asked the white rat, "What can we do to help our friends?" The white rat told Sam, "There is a temple far in the east. You must go there and get the magic mirror. That is the only thing that can break the witch's spell." Sam tells Soy to run and look for a village and tell the villagers about what had happened with their friends and ask for help, while Sam himself made his way towards the mysterious temple. On his way to the temple, Sam reached a cliff. There he saw an eaglet drowning in water. At once, Sam jumped into the water and saved the eaglet. When the eagle saw Sam saving the eaglet, the eagle was very pleased to see Sam and asked Sam if he would like to come along to his nest and stay there to warm himself. The eagle gave Sam a magical ring and said, "This will help you to save your friends." When Sam was at the banks of the lake, he saw that the lake was full of crocodiles. Then he threw a piece of wood to see what the crocodiles would do. The crocodiles lunged towards the piece of wood and snapped it with their jaws. Now Sam was very scared. How would he reach the other side of the lake? The eagle had given Sam a ring. As soon as Sam fell in the lake, the ring fell from his hand. But as soon as the magical ring touched the water of the lake froze. All the crocodiles turned into statues. Sam then made his way towards the temple. When he reached the mysterious temple, he bowed his head in front of it and called out to monks inside. But when no one answered him, he entered the temple. Here he saw something shining on top. When he looked above the shelf, he found the magical mirror. When he tried to get the magical mirror, suddenly an elf appeared. The little elf told Sam, "How dare you take my magical mirror? I will eat you." Sam said, Please let me take this mirror. My friends have turned into monsters. Let me help them. I promise you, I will come back with the mirror. Then you can eat me." The elf said, "How can I trust you?" Sam said, "I always say the truth. I never lie. I will surely come back with your mirror." The elf gave the magical mirror to Sam and told him to return it after he saves his friends. Sam said, "Thank you, but I hope I reach my friends in time." The elf tells Sam, "Show the light of the mirror on the wall. It will show you the way to your friends. You will reach there before the third day ends." When Sam reached the old wicked witch's house, he saw she had captured his sister Soy and a few villagers who had come to help his friends. Sam shouted at the wicked witch and put up a fight with her. When the wicked witch tried to curse Sam with a spell, he brought out the magical mirror. And the wicked witch's spell came back at her with the mirror's reflection. The elf from the mysterious temple appeared and told Sam, "You are a brave and a kind child. It's because you killed the wicked witch that the spell was taken off me as well. I can now roam around freely. I am free from the witch's curse." He gave Sam the magical mirror and said, "Give it to anyone who is in need of it." Children, I hope you all enjoyed today's session. I would now request you all to please make some time and share with your friends and family the poem that we read today. Children, till we meet next time, please take care, bye bye, and stay safe.